Assalamualaikum to all my students of class 7. Welcome again. I hope you all are enjoying and understanding the videos. So, today's we start with the third chapter of science, that is properties of natural resources. Natural resources. Natural resources can be defined as the sources that exist on the planet independent of human actions. These are the resources that are found in the environment and are developed without the intervention of humans. Common examples of natural resources include air, sunlight, water, soil, and stone. Important natural resources are three of them: air, water, soil. What is air? Clean air is important for all the plants, animals, humans to survive on this planet. So it is necessary to take measures to reduce air pollution. Water. 70% of the earth is covered with water and only 2% of that is fresh water. Initiative to educate and regulate the use of water should be taken. Soil. Soil is compressed of various particles and nutrients. It helps plants to grow. In this chapter, we will learn about properties of air, properties of water, and properties of soil. Let's start with the properties of air. How can you tell me, students, that the air is around you? See this. Can you describe this picture? A boy sleeping and covered with a blanket. Do you that earth has a blanket too? Yes, it is called atmosphere. Really? How is that? What is this atmosphere, students? Can you recall, student? In 6th class you learn about atmosphere. It is a mixture of gases. It is a thin blanket of air that surrounds our planet Earth. It is made up of many gases: oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. Students, air is all around us. We cannot see it, yet we feel the presence of air. When we inhale, air is taken in through the nose. If we blow on our hand through our lips, we can feel the air. So air needed for breathing, even plants also, or even animals also. Plants need air to make food. Let's see some activities to understand the properties of air. Take a stick from a broom or a paper or plastic straw, tie a thread at its center and hang it so that it remains horizontal. Tie to a rubber balloon of the same size at the two ends of the stick. See to it that the stick remains horizontal. Now remove one balloon, inflate it and tie it again at its original position. Does the stick remains horizontal? No, the stick goes down on the side of the inflated balloon. This means that air has a weight. Air is a mixture of gases. Therefore, like all other matter, it has a mass and weight. Now, activity 2. Take an injection syringe without the needle. Pull its piston and observe it as you do so. The piston can be pulled out easily. The piston then remains in that position even if you let it go. Now, close the inlet hole of the syringe tightly with your thumb. Pull the piston and let it go. Is the force required to pull out the piston more or less than before? Does the piston remains as it is after you let it go? The molecules of the gases in the air are in constant motion. When these molecules strike a body, they create a pressure on that body. This is the pressure of air that we call it as atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure is defined as the force per unit area exerted against a surface by the weight of the air above the surface. On pulling the piston with the inlet hole of the syringe closed, more space becomes available to the air in the syringe and it becomes rarefied. As a result, the pressure of the air in the syringe is lowered. Comparatively, the pressure of the outside air is very high. That is why when the pulled out piston is released, it is immediately pushed in. If this experiment is repeated, holding the syringe in different positions like vertical, horizontal or inclined, the piston is found to go into the same extent in all these cases. From this, we can infer that atmospheric pressure is the same in all the direction. Student, as we go higher above the sea level, atmospheric pressure decreases. The Swedish scientist Daniel Bernoulli put forth the important principle about atmospheric pressure. He says that the pressure of air decreases when its velocity increases, while pressure of air increases when its velocity decreases. We see third activity. Take some water in a plastic cup and hold a straw upright in it. Hold a small piece of another straw near the upper end of the first straw and perpendicular to that straw. Blow hard through the small piece of straw. You will see a fountain of water. Why did this happen? On blowing through the straw, the air at its open end is pushed away, and hence the pressure of the air at the opening goes down. As the pressure of the air near the upper end of the erect straw becomes less than the atmospheric pressure, the water in the cup is pushed from where the pressure is higher to where it is lower, that is, in the upward direction, and the water comes out in the form of a fountain. The more forcefully you blow, the higher will be the fountain. This straw fountain works on Bernoulli's principle. When there exists a difference in the air pressure at two different places, the air starts flowing from the place of higher pressure to the place of lower pressure. At such times, we feel a breeze or a wind blowing. Thus, winds are an effect of the difference in air pressure. You will learn more about this in the lesson called Winds in Geography. Let's do some another activity. Take ice cubes in a glass up to 3/4 of its height. Now observe what happens. How did the water droplets appear on the outside of the glass? Due to ice cubes in the glass, the air surrounding the glass cools down. As the water vapor in this air cools down, it condenses and gets transformed into water. It is this water that collects on the outer surface of the glass. The level of humidity is different in different places. Similarly, the humidity level also changes from time to time. During the period of a single day, the level of humidity of the air is determined by its capacity to hold a water vapor. During the night or at dawn, when the temperature of air is low, its capacity to hold the vapor is less. At such times, the excess vapor is transferred into water droplet. This is what we call dew. In the afternoon, when the temperature of the air is high, the capacity of the air to hold the moisture also increases. Then, compared to its fully capacity to hold water, the proportion of moisture in the air is less, and we feel that the air is dry. The proportion of water vapor in the air is high during the monsoon and in coastal areas. As a result, we feel the dampness or humidity. In summer, wet clothes dry quickly, but in the rains, they do not. Let's do some activity. Dip an uncorked inverted empty bottle in a slanting position into the water in a white container. What do you observe? What change take place in a balloon on filling air in it? We come to know from the activities above that air has a properties like occupying space, having a certain volume, having mass and weight. Air is a mixture of very fine particles of some gases, dust, smoke and moisture. When rays of light fall on these minute particles, the particles spread the lights in all the direction. This natural phenomenon is called scattering of light. The earth receives energy from the sun. This energy is reflected by the earth in the form of heat. The constituents of air surrounding the earth, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, absorb a part of this heat and give it to the other constituents of air. As a result, the earth's surface remains warm and thereby becomes suitable for the living world on the earth. If there were no air on the earth, the average temperature of the earth's surface would have been very low. Air is also useful for the transmission of sound. All the sounds that we hear reach us through the surrounding air. The density of air also changes due to change in its temperature. In winter, the density of the air increases. We can hear the whistle of a distant train clearly early in the morning. In winter, air is useful as a medium for the transmission. Let's summarize what we have learned. Air has both mass and weight. Atmospheric pressure is defined as the force per unit area exerted against a surface by the weight of the air above the surface. Atmospheric pressure is same in all the directions. Winds are an effect of the difference in air pressure. Air is useful as a medium for the transmission of sound. These are all properties of air. Now your homework for today is, what is the importance of air in transmission of sound and how is light scattered by the air? Thank you so much student. In the next video we will learn about properties of water.